I'm going to skip that ad. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the Ranger Wrap-Up. This is Joe with that hashtag show.
Oh, we're live.
We are live.
Sorry.
Kelly is not here this week. I'm going to skip that ad. Hey. There we go. That's better. What? How come your computer? Why is it playing loud on your thing?
I don't know.
It's externally.
We're having technical issues, guys.
When is the show not having technical issues? Is the real question.
Welcome to that hashtag show, guys.
So we're going to be talking about 3 episodes today. Episode 36, 37, 38.
Yes.
Which are, I literally, we were doing a little run through and I just did this. So
Birds of a Feather.
That's right.
Cleanup Club. Something to clean up.
Cleanup Club and Bad Reflection on You. Those are the episodes we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about Power Ranger news and taking your questions and comments.
Yes.
But first, Darrel, how was your week?
It's pretty good. Been pretty good so far. I've just been really busy recording stuff, anime. I'm trying to watch a lot of anime for next week.
What's a lot?
I've been taking advantage of my Watch VRV thing, and I've been like just binging through anime like crazy. Like Gamers, New Game. There's a lot of like game-themed anime that are out on Funimation right now, and I'm just like binging through all of it.
Welcome to the chat room. We got a lot of people in here, a lot of you regulars. I see Edward Sanchez. I saw Larry Newbill earlier. Daniel Diaz is in here.
I think I saw Ryan earlier.
Ryan's in here. We also got Abigail. Shout out to Germany and all the fine fans there.
What's up?
Super Sentai Navy. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one before. What up, Super Sentai Navy?
How are you guys?
Jamal Van Westring. Craig Anderson. What's up, man? How you doing?
I read your comment.
I'll be reading it later on. But I want to know, for all you new guys, where all you guys from, and are you guys excited to see Power Rangers Ninja Steel next week?
Yes. How you guys been? Are you ready for Ninja Steel? Ninja Steel! Are you ready for that?
By the way, just a quick shout, if you are in the LA or Southern California area tomorrow, I am hosting a Power Rangers panel at YesterCon. People on that panel are going to be Tracy Lynn Cruz, who played Ashley in Power Rangers Turbo and Space.
Yes.
Ciara Hanna was Gia in Power Rangers Megaforce and Super Megaforce. Also, Christopher Kamen Lee, he was Andros in Power Rangers in Space.
He killed Zordon.
He did kill Zordon. And who else is there? Brendan Mejia from Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah. From Power Rangers Dino Charge.
And
Dino Supercharge.
And Dino Supercharge. And Carla Perez, who is the live-action Rita Repulsa.
Don't you guys have, like, questions for her? Video questions for her?
I don't know.
Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you guys want to send video questions in for Carla Perez, please send them to fan questions at that hashtagshow.com. No. Fan questions at that hashtagshow.com. That's our proper thing. We also, I'm going to start off with news, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
We got somebody from Jamaica.
Woo!
Anna Miles. Holy crap, I love Jamaica. I've never been, actually, but I
always wanted to go.
Love the culture of Jamaica. We're going to start off some Power Ranger news. Next week is the premiere of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. So next week we are going to be doing a live Ninja Steel show. We will not have the Retro Ranger wrap-up. That was only filler until we get to Ninja Steel.
And now we have Ninja Steel.
And Ninja Steel's back. And we're trying to work on getting a guest in here for Ninja Steel. Possibly. It could, and it might not be who you expect it to be, but it could be. I don't want to hype it because we don't have it confirmed yet.
Yeah.
But we're gonna working on getting a guest in here from the cast.
Regardless, it's gonna be pretty hype. So
yes. One thing that came out this week. Well, are you excited about Ninja Steel coming back?
I mean, yes, I am. Only because I want to see where they're going. Like, what? We had, like, maybe, how many, 8 episodes?
I believe it's 8.
And then it just, like, hiatus, super hiatus. We haven't had it for so long. So I want to see where it goes. Ninja Steel hasn't been my favorite so far, but I'm hopeful.
Hopeful is the right attitude to have. I feel I'm kind of in agreement with you on this. I think that, man, it's just so polarizing because you could tell that either they want it to be really good, but I don't know.
Nickelodeon's schedule definitely isn't helping because 8 episodes and then boom. Because we don't know if it's still gonna be good or not.
We did talk to Peter Sodarso, and he says that this story is gonna be really strong.
He says it's gonna be drama. That was the word he used. Like really dramatic, and
he did say that, and he also said that they're not gonna have a ton of demorphed fight scenes.
That's really disheartening because
that's gonna be something.
They're ninjas. I was really hoping we would see more of that.
That's right. But we are going to get to see some resolution to this Gold Ranger character.
Yes.
So we'll see a little bit more of that. But Ninja Steel's next week, we'll be doing Power Rangers Ninja Steel next week live. Myself, Darrel, and Kelly will probably be here. But let's talk about the international spoilers that came out. Originally, it was said that Saban was not going to release any international spoilers, that the United States was actually going to get the show first. Turns out not to be
Lies!
true. Spain actually got the show first and aired episode 9 and 10. And we got our first reveal of a controversial device, we'll say.
So on MMPR Toys, a lot of you may or may not know, there was this huge Burger Morpher debate, which actually in turn helped decide on the show themselves. Like Bandai was like all into that. It was like, okay, are we going to have the Burger Morpher from Ninja in there or not? Well, if you watch the series, they don't have the Burger Morpher. However, it is in episode 9.
That's right, episode 9. And they're saying that the Burger Morpher is going to be used, as you said, it was a cell phone.
I think it's just supposed to be a cell phone.
I heard that it's a new digital camera, because I heard that, so a lot of people are saying that Brody's line of the season is epic. Everything's epic. Here he's taking a picture with the Burger Morpher phone. And I hear that his line is going to be, say cheeseburger. So that's going to be, his line is going to be say cheeseburger.
I can't believe that.
I
can believe it.
Look at the picture and you tell me if you don't believe it.
Okay, because have you seen any of the Ninja footage of him?
No.
So what he'll do is like he'll defeat a monster and he'll pose with it and he'll like take a selfie and then kind of just like walk away as it explodes. So I can understand that. So I don't know if it's going to be like a cell phone or a camera, but
we shall see.
Now we know it's going to be in combat.
Yes, it's going to be in combat. So what do you guys think about the Burger Morpher / Burger digital camera? Leave a comment in the live chat and we'll have a little discussion going on that. And whether or not you guys wanted to actually see that as a Morpher. And I know that was a debate.
That was a huge debate
that other people had. But we want to know from you guys right now live. Hashtag Burger Morpher, hashtag no Burger Morpher. We want to know what you guys think.
No Burger Morpher.
I agree, no Burger Morpher. But another thing that dropped this week were the Zeo Legacy figures.
Yes.
We got our first bit of marketing, our first bit of promo pics from Bandai themselves. What do you think?
I really like them. They're beautiful. In fact, like Catherine Sutherland on Instagram or Facebook, I believe, she posted a picture of the old Morphin flip heads side by side with the new Legacy figures. The new Legacy figures are beautiful. I love them.
Oh, man, they look great.
If you don't like them, I don't know what you're looking for in an action figure because they're gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to the Zeo Megazord as well. It looks great. I don't really collect action figures, so this is something I'm really excited for.
Man, I think these Zeo figures look beautiful. The Gold Ranger, they all look so great. This is one of my favorite aesthetic-looking teams. I think I can't wait for this.
The colors are so bright. I like.
Man, they really got the Gold Ranger right too. I like the kneecaps, like the gold along the knees. I think that looks great. I think Zeo Ranger 5, Tommy looks awesome, and look how great the girls look.
Yeah, they look amazing. I really hope the paint applications stay. Like, you know how sometimes on the toys they'll like just skimp out on like a little like paint detail that would have made it like perfect. Right. I really hope everything that's there stays.
We got a super chat in from Abigail Parker. She says burgers are for eating, not morphing.
That's right.
No Burger Morpher. Now let's go back to this Burger Morpher debate because we got a few people weighing in their options or what they think.
Okay.
Right now we have, let's see, Craig Anderson, hashtag no Burger Morpher.
Yes.
Larry Nealbill, no Burger Morpher.
Yes.
We also got, let's see, we have a few more. We have a few more that I'm scrolling past. Tom Craven, it's Burgerlicious. I'm thinking that he's for the Burger Morpher maybe. Let's see, did I say Craig Anderson? I did.
Yeah.
Daniel Diaz wants the Burger Morpher. He says DJ was right. DJ wasn't right because he actually said no Burger Morpher, so that guy should probably watch DJ's show more often. I am Negro, which is, I love this name. No Burger Morpher, but the camera cell phone thing is cool.
I think it's funny as a cell phone or like as a camera. If it's a digital camera, I'd be more on board with it. That's funny. But as a morpher, no.
T Wolf, the Typhoon Ranger, hashtag no Burger Morpher. Jamal Van Westering, no burger morpher.
Yes.
We also got, who else is in here that just said, Funny K Comics, who's new to the chat. Thank you for joining us. No burger morpher. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. We got Thomas Franco, no burger morpher.
Yes. So the general consensus is no burger morpher, and I'm very happy about that, guys.
We also got another super chat. Tom Craven, I wish he used a guitar morpher instead.
Actually, I agree. I think if he had used the guitar that he's supposed to get as the weapon, as a morpher, I think that would have been awesome. I don't know how he would have carried that around, like, Power Ranger Space would, like, pull it out from behind his back or something like that. But I think that would have been really cool.
That would have been more like Silverhawks. I don't know, I'm dating myself there, but Silverhawks very much had something.
I remember
very similar.
Silverhawks.
That was great.
I had an action figure, actually. It was like...
You should bring back Silverhawks and do, like, the voice of the main one. I feel like.
If I can find, like, some good footage, I might.
If you could, that would be amazing.
I didn't know what it was, though, when I was growing up. It was just, like, this chrome silver figure, and then he had, like, a cone back, and you press the legs, and his arms flew up. And for the longest time, I was like, is this a Power Ranger? I didn't know what it was. And so I was like, do you flip his head around in order to make the visor? Because I was like, that's stupid. That's really dumb. Years later, I saw it on YouTube.
You know what? I'm actually surprised that that's a franchise that hasn't been, like,
rebooted
or anything. Yeah, nothing with it. I forgot about
because that came out right.
Hey, Shadowbird, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Same time as like He-Man and no, even before that, I believe.
It was around that era.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on real quick now. We got some. Well, let me announce this. Power Morphicon tickets are officially on sale.
Oh yes.
Get your platinum membership because
you can't.
Why?
Platinum sold out.
Sold out. You know why it's sold out? Because the Lord Draken figure is the exclusive to the Platinum members.
So you know those legacy figures that we've been getting? Well, you're getting a Lord Dracon figure in the Platinum thing, and you can't get them anymore because they're all sold out.
That's right. So for all of you that are going to be at Power Morphicon, Darrel and myself and Kelly and most of
pretty much the whole crew, yeah.
We're going to be there live. We're going to be throwing a party. Again, I can't reveal the details of this party quite yet, but...
It's a year in advance.
Well, not only is it a year in advance, we're going to be doing something at that party, and it's going to be themed, and I think you guys are going to love it. It's going to be for you guys, the fans, and it's going to be
Is it the one thing that we talked about way back?
When we were at Pasadena?
Yes.
Yeah. We had that dinner.
It's going to be awesome, guys!
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So come out, get your passes to Morphicon, and it's in Anaheim this year. Mm-hmm. And I will promise you two things. Number one, you are going to meet the best people in the world, fellow Ranger fans.
Yes.
And number two, if you enjoy the nightlife, nobody does it better than that hashtag show at Power Morphicon. Just ask Michael Tabor from last year when we were singing a song. Now, speaking of Michael Tabor... You like that segue? Speaking of Michael Tabor, he released a tweet, and I know that we probably aren't supposed to talk about this, but we got to mention it because it's something that you guys wanted to talk about. So.
He's also been talking about it on his social media. He's like, hey, ask away. In fact, I'm even going to be talking about it at SAC Anime. So if you want to learn all the details from his mouth, SAC Anime. However, we'll talk about it here.
Yeah, so I probably should reach out to Michael and ask him. Maybe bring him here.
Yeah.
But we'll talk to Michael about it. But he did release a statement saying that Power Rangers was probably the biggest regret of his life. And if you want to know more, find out at SAC Anime.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well...
I mean, we could speculate all we want to because we're never going to know.
You know, it's a recurring theme that happens with a lot of Rangers, actually. It's like, even with Amy Jo Johnson, she regretted it for years. Same with David Yost and, like, a lot of the cast. Like, but that's the first season. And we're still hearing that from some actors now.
Yes, I was just with one of them not too long ago. I'm not going to say which one.
Of course.
But we were talking about this incident precisely. And it doesn't necessarily make sense the way that Saban kind of does this. Actually, I was with one of our producers, and we were talking about it as well. It doesn't make sense because I feel sometimes Saban won't let the actors grow when they're under contract.
Right.
And the producer I was with, do you care if I say who you are? JD. Of course, he produces our show. JD made a great point. You know, he said that during the 2-year duration when you sign your Power Ranger contract, you get to, you're wanted the most. You have the most opportunity. You can, people want you the most.
Yes.
So that's your biggest time to make money. Saban doesn't let you though. And by the time that your contract's over, they're already moved on to the next cast. By the way, we got another super chat by Larry Newbill. Thank you so much. We are going to turn it up, Larry. Dude, I can't wait for Larry to get out here.
That's going to be awesome.
Because he's going to be with our crew the whole time. I'm so excited. We'll bring Larry on the show. He could join us. Oh, man, I'm excited.
It's going to be great. I can't wait.
But back to this subject.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more with that statement because there's other Rangers that we've talked to in the past that had the same sentiment. Now, being a Power Ranger is something that it depends. You can look at it one out of two ways.
Yeah, exactly.
You can look at it from the actor perspective that's going to help you in the long run. And that's worked for Eka Darvel,
that's something I want.
Rose MacGyver. They used it as a platform to jump on other things. Or once you're in the Ranger lexicon and community, you can stay there. And you really are a representative of the brand for the next however many years.
Say JDF or even Yoshi. But Yoshi is like, he's in that weird thing where he is still in the Ranger as a face, but he's moved on to a lot of other things.
Yes.
So, it's really what you do with it. And I don't know. For him to say it's the biggest regret of his life, I feel like that's a huge stretch. I don't know.
I can't. He might be valid though. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you guys want to know more, you can join Darrel and Michael Tabor at SAC Anime.
Yes.
I'm gonna have Darrel give you the exclusive.
I will try my best.
That's gonna be
I'm gonna be with the Dino Charge cast the whole time. So if you come to say hi to them, get autographs or whatever, I will be there. And I hope to see you guys there.
Something else I didn't ask you guys to do is share this video out on your social media. Use your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account. It helps spread the word of Power Rangers that we all love so much. And we haven't had Power Rangers since last year. So we want to spread, or is it maybe February? February was the last
beginning of the year.
It's crazy, man. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But we want to keep it going. Our last bit of news this week is going to be about the Legacy War video game.
Yes.
Lord Draken was dropped.
We finally have him publicly. There was a couple people that got him at Comic-Con through a special little QR code, but now he's available to the public. He and along with Black Dragon from the comics are both.
Black Dragon's great.
Black Dragon is broken. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, you kept saying that when you fought him, you couldn't win, right?
Yeah, he has this laser thing, and I don't know if anyone has actually fought him yet. But there's this laser thing that goes directly across the screen. You can't block it. You can't dodge it.
You can't block it?
No, it's dumb. And I think it's a break also. It's stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm excited about Lord Dracon. I'm not playing the game. I should just make you the moderator of that group thing. I make JD the moderator. I stopped playing because it's ridiculous. It's just straight up ridiculous.
I haven't turned on the game in over a week though.
So. I might come back to it. It's just that game gets so frustrating, man. I'm not about it. I'm not about that life. But I do have one last announcement to make. Last week we had for all of you guys that super chatted, we put you guys off into a raffle to win our San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Megazord. So I am holding this Megazord in our hand, and the winner of that contest was, you guessed it, Larry freaking Newbill. Larry Newbill, congratulations. This is headed your way.
Woo!
You won the...
You got a Comic-Con exclusive!
San Diego 2017 Comic-Con exclusive. I believe this says 675 pieces? What does that mean? Limited to 675 of these?
So there's only 675 of these in the world.
Well, now you got one.
Now you have... I think it's numbered.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Yeah, usually on these things, they're usually numbered. I don't see it, though. Yeah, I don't see it. Well, you have one of them. You have one of the 675.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing there.
Well, it's from Tokyo
Vinyl. These are pretty popular, so I'm excited that you're getting this.
That's going to do it for news. So if you guys want to comment on any of the news, leave it in that chat right there. You can also use that super chat feature. Hit that S button, help support the show. And we are going to be talking about these next 3 episodes from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers right before we get back to Power Rangers Ninja Steel, which is next week.
Morphin.
And let's start this off with Birds of a Feather, because you know what Birds of a Feather do? They flock together. That's right. You got it. All right, so Birds of a Feather was episode 36 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing the play-by-play while Darrel breaks down the commentary.
Okay.
Zach starts this episode off for us. He's teaching a kid karate. We get some more hip-hop keto.
I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to learn this, like officially learn this. I think it'd be so much fun. It just looks super impractical.
It does look super impractical. It's probably not going to work in a real fight. He mentors a young boy named Kameron that doesn't have the most confidence. Right?
He's also a green belt, and in comparison to the rest of the kids in his class, he's one of the lower ranks.
But Zach was there for him.
Yeah.
Bulk and Skull have their own protege.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Biff. Now, Biff is your stereotypical bully name. The Biff is classically the villain in
It's the 90s. I'm
Back
not
to the
even
Future.
surprised. Yeah.
We got Zach. Zach gives a pep talk to Kameron for the junior competition.
What if he cheats? Then he'll be disqualified.
And Cam questions his new moves.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we see Jason show up, he gets summoned. I like the fact that he's the only one that gets the summons, by the way.
Here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought he was just going to get the call, and he was like, oh, they're busy. I'll go take care of it myself.
But with the way the episode played out, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Because I think that was I don't know why they didn't do that, personally.
That's why. I was actually going to say that once we got farther into the thing, but I'll just say it now. So, I was really hoping that this would be a Jason-centric episode or a Zach-centric episode. But the Sentai footage doesn't allow that. It was mainly Jason, Red Ranger footage. And I would really like it if this was a Zach-centric episode. I think it would have been better.
So that's part of my comment as well, but I will get there in a second.
Yes.
So Zach hates the timing. There's nothing he could really do about it. And
I feel like he should have stayed behind at the very least.
Well, Tommy did. Remember when Tommy was like, "I got to watch out for my kids."
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. There's still 4 of them.
There's still 4. You could have taken. I mean, it did take like 5 of them to beat the thing. But I feel like if he held back for a little bit, he's like, "Hey, I'll hold back. Just call me if things get really bad."
Right. And
but
Zordon teleports them in. They get to learn about the Hatchasaurus, which is the name of the villain in this episode.
And a new fitness program, the Cardiotron. No.
Yes. Well, Zach questions how to beat it, which is interesting because Zordon tells Zach you have to have confidence in your power.
Which is exactly what he tells what's his name?
Kameron. So this is what I don't understand though, and you hit it right on the head. This episode is about confidence, but it's not really when it comes to the Sentai footage.
Yes.
It's about Jason being a badass.
And I understand that, like, a lot of times in real life, you're supposed to learn a life lesson, but life doesn't exactly take you that. But we're watching Power Rangers here. This is something that, like, oh, something's happening in the real life, and then they learn about it later on. Jezzer's a fool, and, it's just like, we're supposed to learn about it through the combat and the Ranger stuff, but we didn't. It was just Dragonzord.
Well, that's the thing.
Really
we get the Dragonzord immediately, establishing that Tommy is no longer in the show. So I like that the Rangers use their individual Zords in this battle. That's something I love about this episode. That was great.
So they summon the Zords, and as soon as they summon the Zords, they didn't even confront the villain yet. But it's like, oh man, we should get some help. They didn't even fight the villain yet. They didn't even shoot a missile yet, but Jason's already pulling that out, ready to go.
Yeah, there was guns ablazing, and I like the fact that we get the individual mech fights because I don't think the actual Zords are highlighted very much.
I love that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
We don't get to see it nearly as much anymore.
The only thing I don't like is that every time they do, it's recycled footage.
Yes. Zordon brings the Rangers back to the command center and lets them know they got to destroy the Cardiotron, the computer.
Yeah, because they blew him up, but then they go back and they watch the monster come back together in reversed footage.
Rita casts a spell on the Dragonzord, and the Dragonzord's just walking around, kind of lonely.
Oh yeah, I guess he was just he's trying to get back to the sea. I think this is the first time we're trying to watch Dragonzord's well, I'm done here. Time to go home. And then
I like it because his head's all down. There's no more Tommy. The Rangers are back in their Zord. Yeah, that's right. The Rangers are back in their Zord. Rita gets the upper hand. I like the fact that Rita's kind of learning from her mistakes. She's making.
That's a common thing that I've seen in these last 3 episodes. Yeah. That why didn't you do this before?
Yeah, I think now. I mean, it's smart in a way that she's learning. I mean, it only took her 35 episodes, but she's learning. How many times is Jason going to use the they call a monster bird brain. Because I feel like we hear it every single time there's a bird monster.
There's a lot of those.
Jason calls the monster bird brain.
There's a lot of those in this episode and the next episode. But in this episode, bird brain. That's
what he says. You're going down, bird brain. Like, I think I've heard
a bunch of puns, though. I was watching that on my way here. Like, I just had it playing, and I just heard, like, another insult I didn't hear last night when I was watching it. I was like, what?
It's true. The Rangers seem to defeat the Hatchasaurus, and the Dragonzord just looks derpy with his hands down, walking around. He just kind of falls over.
And you don't really see why he's doing it until the spell kind of flashes the ring around his body.
Right. Here's something I did like, though. Jason jumps out of the Megazord and down the throat of the Hatchasaurus. It's almost like a pill being swallowed by the Hatchasaurus. Woo! But he ends up in the belly or the heart of the monster, fighting the Cardiotron monster. And this scene is, I loved it. I thought it was super cool.
Yes. I feel like it could have been a little more intense, but, it's a past season. I understand completely. But it was just like, all right, I'm in the stomach, and now I'm being wrapped up, and now I'm just kind of floating around. I feel like there could have been more to it, but...
Yeah, I was a huge fan of this because, I mean, you don't really pay attention to it because it's so kind of dated, but, like, the way that he was just hanging there, it was like, like trapped him. It was awesome.
You don't see that a lot anymore. Like, situations like these, usually they get in this situation, and they're out of it like that because, some new weapon or some special power.
Well, speaking of special power and new weapon, Jason immediately summons the Dragon Dagger, and the Dragon Shield after Zach tells him to.
He says Dragonzord power, I think it is, to summon it.
Yeah.
But he says something else different in the next episode.
I think he says Dragon Shield in the next episode. This is a great display of Jason definitely being the forefront and the strongest leader and using the remainder of Tommy's power. Mm-hmm. I like the aesthetic of the Red Ranger wearing the gold shield. I almost wish that he didn't have to just call it, that it was just a part
always
of his,
there.
Just a part of his aesthetic now.
One of the things I don't like about this, and I'll get to this when we talk about it more in the next episode, is that just the fact that he has to call upon it just proves how much stronger Tommy is. Just that thing alone, just the shield, that's a testament to his power. And it's a thing I like and I don't like.
I was a huge fan of seeing Jason kind of reclaim his leadership spot and his importance. Mm. The only thing I don't understand necessarily was this episode about Zach and his student, or was this episode about Jason? It didn't make any sense.
Exactly.
We'll get there in a second. We get the Ultra Zord, they defeat the Hatchasaurus, and Jason single-handedly defeats Cardiotron. Now, something I loved about this is that Rita attacked the Rangers on two fronts. Jason defeated Cardiotron on the ground,
yes,
while the other Rangers defeated Hatchasaurus in the Zord.
This is something I really like about Q Ranger, because they do that a lot, and that's something
there's so many of them, too, to do that. But I love the fact that the threat was raised. The threat was raised higher. You needed to win on two kinds of forms, and they did it. We're cut back to the youth center. We get to see the junior karate tournament. Zach is proud of Cam because Cam got ranked pretty high. But Cam's kind of brushes Zach off. He's like, whatever, you could show up to me.
But he's like, all right, Zach.
Yeah, they made up.
Whatever.
He didn't hold much of a grudge.
Yeah.
Cam fights Biff, and Biff dominates him in the beginning. But then Kameron catches
Use the special move.
It was the sweep. It was like, sweep the leg. That's almost what happened. So he sweeps the leg, and
from then on, he basically just dominates the match.
Did you notice, though, that the referee of that match was the guy that's Lord Zed when the wave hits?
Oh, no. Yeah. I didn't.
He's in a ton of Power Ranger episodes, but that's the Lord Zed guy.
I wonder why he's like, that's the guy they picked. I wonder if that's... Like, I wonder if, like, they filmed Countdown to Destruction and they were like, we need a person to be...
You know what I honestly think?
You, come here.
I honestly think that dude is just, like, on the crew and they were like, let's just use this.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's what happened.
Season. I think that's probably exactly what happened. But, yeah, so we get to see Kameron. He wins. And Biff shows sportsmanship.
Yes.
He pretty much tells him, that was a great fight.
We just thought he was some meathead who was just with Bulk and Skull.
He does want a new coach, though, and he kicks Bulk in the shin.
Knee. I thought he kicked him in the balls, to be honest.
It would have been a little bit more comedic. But again, this fight, the fight was Jason-centric, but the lesson of the day was Zack-centric. I liked the episode a lot.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. So this was a lot of mech fighting.
I loved it.
Yeah?
But the only reason I loved it, though, is because it was a lot of individual Zord mech fighting.
Yes.
And I like seeing the other Zords fight. I like seeing the saber-tooth tiger use the gun that they have for the tail. I dig this. I'm curious, guys, what do you give this episode in the chat? Kat's already giving it a 1.5. She didn't really like it.
What?
Yeah. Super Sentai Navy, I think. I don't want to leave, but I have. Oh, he has to leave. Take care, Super Sentai.
Bye. Peace out. Hope to see you next time.
Yeah, hope to see you next time. But yeah, we want to see what you guys thought. But Darrel, what did you think?
I'm giving this a 4, and I would probably bump it up to a 4.5 if we had established who was the main character of this episode.
I'm gonna go with a solid 3.5 because there was a lot that I did like about this episode. Mm-hmm. I thought that I love the Sentai footage of this. I just wish they would have melded the stories together more.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have hit a 4.5 if they did, because I really like everything. I liked the lesson. I liked everything that I saw. It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a 4.5 for me, only because of I feel like this felt like, I thought this was gonna be a throwaway episode, and when I was mistaken, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a really good episode. It's solid. It's a nice follow-up to Tommy leaving.
Yes, exactly.
I wish they had acknowledged that more.
Yeah,
now that I'm talking about that, I just realized.
Well, they don't really say anything about it. But Daniel Diaz gives it a 5. Superhuman 1 gives it a 3.5. T Wolf the Typhoon Ranger 3.75. Larry Newble 3.2. Terrell Billinger gives it a 2.5. Ryan says bye to Cat, or bye, hey Cat, and Hayden. Shadowbird. Super Sentai Navy gives it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
So it's a pretty consensus that you guys are giving it mid-range to high-range episode. So good job on Power Rangers, and I agree with you. It is a great follow-up. I just kind of wish they would have mentioned Tommy at all, really, but they don't.
It's like, oh man, I miss Tommy. Even that simple line, it's like, oh, I miss Tommy, I would have been fine.
But the one thing that this episode does do pretty well is it establishes Jason is the leader, and it definitely makes him the leader of the Power Rangers.
Until
there's no question about it right now.
Until he gets
demoted, and that's going to be pretty soon. But the Cleanup Club is next. We're going to be talking about the Cleanup Club right now. This is episode 37.
Man.
Bulk and Skull are shooting like a documentary. Bull gets caught, and he kind of falls in his chair. A little bit of
by the end of this episode,
comedy.
I felt really bad for them.
I kind of did too. Trini shows her version of the inconvenient truth. Now, what is the inconvenient truth? That is Al Gore's pollution documentary on global warming. This is essentially the precursor to that.
Yes.
This is where Al Gore actually got the idea from, because he saw an episode of Power Rangers, and he said, you know what? That Trini knows what she's talking about.
That's true.
I don't know if that was true or not, but I'm sure.
It's a true fact.
I think he was vice president around this time.
Someone put that on Wikipedia under trivia.
I believe that's true. This message was kind of ahead of itself, though, because all the things that we're seeing with global warming and pollution, they were ahead of the game 25 years ago talking about this stuff. So the recycling and all this stuff that people are into now, being organic, this is the stems of it. Now we're seeing the effects. I wish more people to listen to Trini. Apparently, it didn't happen.
No.
People can really relate to the show nowadays, but that was my small political rant.
Right.
Trini wants to start a cleanup club. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a great thing.
This is the thing. That specific instance is what people always talk about. It's like, oh, teenagers with attitude. They have the least amount of attitude because they do things like that. They clean up things. They tree hug and everything. And so that's basically what it is. Now, I'm not calling that a bad thing. It's great, especially for Power Rangers. But when people bring it back to the fact that they're supposed to be teenagers with attitude, I mean,
they're the nicest teenagers.
Yeah.
Rita sends out the Poluticorn.
I heard that name. I had to pause, and I'm like, I can't.
Here is the thing about the Poluticorn. I feel like people that don't believe in global warming, this is your monster. The Poluticorn is your mascot. The villain is definitely relevant to this day and age.
Yes.
And they start, cleaning up at the youth center. Billy is ahead of his time. He is using organic paint. Guess what? Organic paint, a real thing nowadays.
Yeah.
This isn't like, when Billy makes up this crazy shit. This is a real thing.
Soon we'll have a flying,
the rad bug?
Bug, yeah.
Yeah, they head to the park, and they start picking up trash. Now, here's the thing.
You can call it Bumblebee.
Two things about this scene really stuck out to me. When you see all the trash at the park,
okay.
You see. Oh, by the way, before we even get there, we get Bulk kind of doing this documentary of him working out.
Yes.
Then we see the trash park. This is the
this
filthiest.
is gonna be fun.
The filthiest park I'd ever seen in my life. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two.
That's not true. I've seen some stuff in LA. I mean.
No, yeah, I don't go to those parts of LA, but this park is filthy.
It's bad.
Number two, they make cleanup so much fun. If you ever had to do community service, watch this episode to get inspired because this is how you do it right.
You also have to learn gymnastics.
And number three, I almost will guarantee you there's some poor damn PA, when they poured all this shit out on the field, some poor PA had to clean all this stuff up.
Yeah.
Because you know that the Power Rangers didn't really have to clean all this stuff up. If I threw all this stuff around right now, our PA is going to clean all this up. I feel terrible for whoever that PA was in this episode. Because you know when they got to the set that day, they're like, oh, fuck. Like,
he got there late, and it's like, oh man, it's another great day for Power. What is this? Oh, you're going to clean this up later.
Yeah, it's definitely like...
Large exhale.
He's like, That's one of those, this is going to be a long day. As you see the actors like, yeah, this is going to be so much fun. They're like, but we get to see this cleanup, and they finally clean it all up. Bulk is buried underneath all the trash bags. He kind of pops out, and he's like, I'm going to shoot this for my documentary. I cleaned up all this trash. Putties attack, the Rangers win. The Poluticorn fights.
This is a good fight, too.
The Poluticorn's great. Zordon teleports the Rangers back.
I was talking about the Unmorph fight, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great too. the unmorphed fight was great. I mean, this is the reason I like the charm of the old '90s Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. You get so many unmorphed fights, and you don't ever really get to see that anymore. Especially with those actors were so athletic and were able to do all this stuff. Nowadays, I mean, not saying that these Rangers aren't athletic.
The only season that we really see that anymore was Dino Charge, but that's only because all of them were super athletic.
Yeah, all of them were super athletic. That's very true. But I like that the Rangers get teleported back, and Jason says, "Man, that horse thing is too much." I was like, what?
He refers to it as a horse thing. Send it back to the barn. Just throughout this whole episode, it's just a bunch of barn jokes, and it's great.
Yeah, I loved it. Jason has these crazy ones. Jason, as you could tell, like Zordon will tell you the name of the villain. Jason just can't remember him, and he just makes up things. This is what happens that I'm noticing about Jason. The Poluticorn attacks the recycling plant. Jason fights the Poluticorn, and the rest of the Rangers fight Goldar and Scorpina. Now, going back to the last episode we just talked about, this was kind of cool though, because it's splitting the attack.
Yeah.
It's not just the monster. You're getting to see Scorpina and Goldar, and I love Scorpina.
Yeah.
I wish that they would use her more throughout the iteration of the show. 'Cause sometimes she shows up, sometimes she doesn't. But I really like the multiple attack villain because it seems like Rita's actually learning. Jason summons the Dragon Shield. He calls it the Dragon Shield.
He calls it Dragon Shield now.
And then Jason chops off the horn of the horse face monster.
Rita sent you back to the bar. That makes me wonder though. Is like, are all these names that he comes up with Austin St. John's doing, or is that the writing? Like, does Austin St. John look at the script like, can I call him Horseface?
Yeah, well, Terrell says Jason and the horse. That would make a great spin-off. I agree. I'd watch that. Jason would never remember the name of this thing. Like, let's go, horse. Jason, they summon the Zords. The monster grows. Summon the Zords. Jason, the Rangers win.
Yes.
Not anything too surprising here. We just get it to see a typical kind of fight with the Zords. So nothing too stunning. The kids watch the news report of their victory. Ernie pretty much. I like how Ernie just comes in. He's like, "All right, kids, time to work," and they're like, "All right." You know that some of them are thinking, "God, dude, we just cleaned up all this crap."
What the hell? Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys. Bulk and Skull are still shooting their documentary. Bulk makes a mess when he kind of fumbles around and ruins all the cans that they stacked up and everything. Miss Appleby does a video review. Skull, VHS, man, this brought me back to VHS tapes. Mm-hmm. Those were so hard to edit. But Skull edits the video, and he does pretty much a gag reel cut. Just hilarious.
By accident.
I will tell you this, though. I would hire Skull as one of our editors on #show. We need great editors like Skull, Eugene Skolovich. He was great. He made a great video there. We definitely need more editors like him.
Windows Media Maker, movie maker.
It did just seem like a music video of Bulk being an idiot.
Yeah.
Is what it came down to.
Felt really bad for him by the end of that.
There is one question I had about this episode was that is Tommy still enrolled in Angel Grove High?
No, I think he moved.
And did the other Rangers are they just like, we don't want to hang out with you anymore. You could help us on this claim. You're not one of like what is going on? Like there's no reference to him, nothing, no Tommy. He's just gone.
Actually, in Green Candle, I don't think they ever specify if he moves or not.
He doesn't move. He's just a brooding guy. Needed some time away, I guess, from everybody. He's like, well, I'm keeping myself busy. Hey, Tommy, if you really wanted to keep yourself busy to help the other kids clean up all that crap in the park, right? Right? That's what he says in Green Candle.
Isn't he a martial arts teacher too at the youth center?
Yeah,
Does he just not show up to these classes anymore?
Those kids are losing faith in Tommy so quick right now.
I didn't even think about that. I always assumed he just like moved away and then came back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Huh. But we want to know what you guys thought about this last episode. Darrell, give me a ranking.
This is a 3. It was a solid episode. It felt like a throwaway, but it was enjoyable. But 3.
I'm also gonna give it a 3. I thought it was a lot smarter too. Like I think the premise of what it was about pollution. I thought that it was great. It told the story with the kids in the youth center, and it told the stories with the Sentai footage. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that they made this story make sense, even though the Sentai footage probably had nothing to do with pollution.
Nope.
And Pollutocorn was a catchy name. And yeah, I'm okay with it. The only thing I didn't like was that there were no Tommy references.
Yes.
So you downgraded from me on that. I want to know, already people are saying Daniel Romano gives it a 5 out of 5. Larry Nilbo gives it a 3. Mm-hmm. Super Samurai 1 gives it a 3.
That's a name I
Jamel Van Westring 4.5. Cat gives it a 2. Cat's a harsh critic, I've noticed. In the last few episodes, Cat's been giving it like bottom of the line.
That's good though.
Yeah,
I mean, I am curious why you're giving it such low scores. Honestly, I would too.
Keep it real.
But, you know.
Thomas Franco gives it a 4. Terrell Bellinger 2.75. Shadowbird gives it a 3. T-Wolf Typhoon Ranger a 3 also. FF Justice in the long comments a 3 out of 5. But that was pretty much that episode. So coming out of this episode, we got one definite thing. That Tommy is nowhere to be found, and he quit school. So he is a Ranger with attitude. Or he was a Ranger with attitude.
I didn't think about this, but we'll talk about this in the next episode. Also, this is probably one of my favorite episodes.
Now, the next episode the movie actually drew a lot from this next episode, if you think about it. So, A Bad Reflection on You. Which makes sense, and of course, when you watch the episode, I like this episode a lot. First of all, we'll get into this.
This is probably one of my favorite MMPR episodes, and I don't remember ever watching this episode growing up. So maybe I skipped over it or something like that by accident. But yeah, I love this episode. This is great.
Well, we get to see Rita send her putties down, and she makes them the Power Rangers.
That had me dying, seeing them all there. Because this is the 90s.
You know that they had fun, too, playing this episode.
This is the 90s representation of, like, oh, we're bad. Sunglasses.
These are the teenagers with attitude.
Yeah.
This must have been fun to play for these kids.
Yeah.
You could tell that they were having so much fun. Skull hits on Kim. First of all, what the hell is submarine races? What the hell does that mean? Do you want to go see the submarine races? What is that in reference to? Like actual submarines racing?
Grove has submarine races.
Like which writer grew up with submarine races? And where do you even submarines are underwater? How do you even watch that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. If you know what that reference means, please let me know. I don't know what that means. The geek friend that comes up to Billy, such a poor guy. Billy just tosses him to the ground.
Do you get what he called him? That was the funniest thing.
Then what do you call him?
I don't know. It was just some really long scientific BS. And I was just like, I had to pause and go, what did he say to him?
Well, here's the deal. Not only they're trying to give the Rangers a bad reputation, they mess with the water fountain and they put this stuff in it. And it kind of explodes.
Laundry soap or something.
That was amazing, by the way. It's a great prank, actually. That's something I would actually do, I feel like. This is something Tommy would probably do. He's a prankster. The foam fills the hall. And you know what? Kaplan takes a dope fall. For being an old man,
yeah.
he took it like a champ. Like a champ. What a champion that guy is. I bet you that wasn't a stunt double either, and I bet you that's why he left the show immediately after. He's probably suing Saban at this point. Right. Evil Kim, I will say this, Evil Kim is super hot. Regular Kim is hot as it is, but Evil Kim is even hotter. I will say she's On point.
Her outfit actually in the last episode when they were doing the cleanup, I was like, this is why I had a crush on you. This is why.
Kim's great.
Yeah.
We get to see the real Rangers come up, try to help Kaplan out, and he's like, "Attention for all of you." I would love to see a crossover of Saved by, of like Mr. Belding like transferred to Angel Grove High, and like how that would have been.
Oh,
like,
you guys are so much better than the last kids I had to deal with.
But Bulk and Skull would have been, hey. Like, I can imagine. I would love to see it. That would have been great.
What up?
Well, yeah. Bulk tries to bully the Rangers, or he gives them detention.
Yes.
We get to see the Rangers' detention. Now, the movie takes a lot of inspiration
From this
specific scene. So this is the scene where Bulk and Skull are in detention, and he tries to bully the Rangers, and he tells Jason, "Hey, you're in my seat."
This is such a strange
spells
scene.
Bulk wrong. I actually really like this. I enjoyed it, and you can see this is the first time I think all the Rangers are in detention for the first time.
I think this is the first time we really get to see some good character background behind Bulk.
Well, this episode did a couple of things right. Number one, I like the kind of magic trick pulling things out of the box with the lunch. I thought that was a lot of fun. It just made Bulk kind of like, it just made him like a gimmick, and it just like he's preparing for detention. I love that.
Yeah, like
the fact about it.
Detention is his spot. He has a desk. His mom makes him food for detention.
Right.
Like this is his thing.
The one thing I actually did like also in this episode is that there was a great plot device of that the Rangers are on the outside. They need to stop something, but they're confined to being somewhere.
Right.
And they almost have to trick Bulk and Skull on how to get out of there. And I think that having them trapped in a confined space where they can't necessarily do anything was a really good plot device.
That TV, though, he pulls it out of nowhere, plugs it in, and it automatically has channels. Was that a thing? Are there TVs that could do that without having to plug a cable in? Like, is it just antenna? Because there was no antenna on that thing.
So Daniel Romano says that watching the submarine races is a euphemism for making out and more in a car.
I've never heard
that. I've always heard like, hey, let's. Never mind. There's been those things where you like take girls up to the park and be like, oh, hey, I want to show you the view. That's like one, like that's like typical.
But that's like a smooth like.
I've never heard submarine races.
I've never heard that either.
It's so weird. I don't even think my parents know what that is. But that's just something we didn't grow up with, I guess. We are back to this. Skull wants some of Bulk's lunch. He gives him a soda. The soda explodes in his face. He gets mad and starts chasing Kimberly around. It looked like he was going to squirt the soda on her. And I know that sounds like a really weird sentence when I say it out loud, but it's not meant to be. But he's chasing her around with this soda trying to squirt it on her. But he accidentally hits Bulk instead. And then Bulk throws a pie in his face. This is where the pie stuff must come in, right? All the pie stuff from Morphicon. What is the pie stuff from Morphicon, Darrel?
Oh my gosh. I didn't see the panel myself. I heard about it. But they had this giant, like, food fight in a convention panel. And they got in a lot of trouble for it. They almost got kicked out of Morphicon.
They almost got banned from Morphicon, if I remember right. Yeah.
I think Morphicon almost got banned from the Pasadena Convention because of this. So it was a huge thing. So they had this Kickstarter.
Funny Kid Comics has to go. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, so they were trying to raise money to pay for the damages and everything like that, and I think they did. But yeah, pies. That's a thing.
Pies are a thing, apparently. Back to the episode, we get to see the evil Rangers straight up attacking people.
This is
straight up
awesome stuff,
people.
Actually. Like getting to see.
You want to see a threat?
Footage?
Have them attack regular. You see this guy go flying, like they straight up attack people.
So here's my thing. This was great, and I wish that they had come up with. So Finster makes all these monsters from clay, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't they do this before? Like, why did it take them so long to think, let's make some new Rangers and just have them attack people?
Well,
this is
something I liked. You know why? Because every single one of these episodes, they did very good with the creativeness in which they were going to defeat the Rangers. Right. The first episode was the Zord fight and the ground attack.
Right.
Second episode split the forces with Scorpina, Rita, and the Poluticorn. And this episode straight up used the fake Rangers to attack people.
Like these three episodes were very, very strong, and I like that. My thing with this episode, now that I was talking about it, where's the Tommy clone?
That's a great point. There is no Tommy.
I feel like that would have been like awesome.
That would have given him the edge.
Yeah.
Well, probably because that would give him the edge. That's why there's no Tommy clone. That happens. They attack the Rangers. Now that cartoon that played on when we get back to detention. Do you know what that was?
No. I was trying to think.
I
about
think
it.
it's a Mexican cartoon. Mm-hmm. I think I've seen it before.
I
like
couldn't
on
think
Spanish
of it
stations.
like off the top of my head, but I was like, I studied for a little bit. And I was like, what? I don't know. Maybe they just like pulled it from somewhere.
I like that Billy's taking notes on the behavior of Bulk and Skull as well.
Neanderthal behaviorisms or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
he's like taking notes. It's like you wonder if he's gonna make a robot.
Like he just made a nerd bully joke.
He did. He totally did. The Rangers. The news report comes on and it says the Rangers have joined the forces of evil. Mm-hmm. Now this is bad PR for the PRs. That was a really bad pun. He flew over Darrel's head there.
And fly over my head. It was stupid.
Did you catch it? Nothing flies
continue.
over your head. This is a pretty lax detention. They get to really do whatever they want in there.
Yeah, like
they don't.
It's a study hall, but without a teacher.
Yeah, it's pretty much just having fun in a room.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Well, Mr. Kaplan isn't there. No one's there to watch them.
Bulk's doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like,
he plugged in his television just so he could watch. Maybe it's just because he's there so often, like they're just like, you know what? Whatever.
He has his own permanent thing.
Do
here.
your thing.
I like the fact that they can't leave Bulk. I mean, I like that Zach is smart enough because, like I said, Zach. This isn't the first time Zach kind of displays magic.
Right.
So it seems to me that Zach, at some point through his character, had studied magic. Or at least wanted to be some kind of magician.
Right.
Because he's like, I got a trick for you guys, even though this isn't a real trick. But he's like, I can make all of us disappear. Then Jason's like, well, why don't you close your eyes? And then Trini's like, well, why don't you count backwards? And then they pretty much disappear. I like this a lot. I like the way that they used that.
Yes.
Let me see.
I thought they were just gonna teleport out though. I
thought so, too.
I didn't think they were gonna morph in front of them.
No, I made a comment about that. So that would make more sense to just teleport out, morph in the command center, and then leave. Because what if they just open their eyes?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense at all. But I do like the fact that when the Rangers get to the fight, you don't necessarily know who's who. So there's a great scene in there.
That's the thing. That's the thing I really liked about this episode, because every time we have like an evil clone Ranger episode, it's usually distinguishable by something. Like, don't we get another like Mighty Morphin clone later on?
Yes.
Where it's with like black gloves or something like that, or
We do. We get a couple actually.
Yeah.
So there's the one where I forgot which monster it is.
yeah.
But he sees them. It's like this white gorilla monster, and
Yeah.
it turns into each one.
There's the Shadow Rangers from Turbo. I don't remember what the distinguishing features.
And there's
were.
also there should be one coming up pretty soon. I remember the ones where they have the gray gloves
Oh yeah.
and the gray. They're buddies as well.
The Cyborg Rangers from Lightspeed Rescue, they had those antennas on their head. It's like every time we have a Clone Ranger episode, they're distinguishable by something. And so I like the fact that we don't know who's who here.
Yeah. So there's a great scene where Trini is like trying to protect. No, yeah, Trini's trying to protect Kimberly, but she protects the wrong one, and that Kimberly turns on her and like hits her, and she's like, I don't know who to trust. I like that. I like the fact that they don't know who's on whose side. I
Yes.
do wish though that they would have mixed it up, like the Red Ranger fighting the Blue Ranger, because
Yeah.
that way it would have been like, no, I'm the real Billy. Like, oh, prove it. Like,
Exactly.
I kind of wish that was done a little bit more, but I understand what they did here. I mean, they dumbed it down a lot.
On that note, I feel like the clones are defeated too easily.
Yeah, way too easily. I mean, then we get a scene of Bulk and Skull looking for the Rangers because they've disappeared.
Which was amusing.
I do think that once the mirror monster kind of transforms, he looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like
the
design a
aesthetic
lot.
of his design. I thought it was a pretty cool
He
looking
kind of
design.
looks like Diamond Head from Ben 10. I don't know if you're familiar with that. He's an alien diamond-looking thing. Anyway, it's a great show, guys. See you in Ben 10.
Now here's one thing I did love about this episode, which is going to give it a higher score for me. They use just the power weapons to defeat the monster.
Yes.
No Zords. Using the weapons, making sure that the weapons stay prominent and that they actually can do something.
Oh,
in
that's the
battle.
thing I forgot to mention in the previous episode, or not previous, with Cardiotron. When he summons the power sword to use it, did you notice how he goes to his side to pull out the Blade Blaster and pulls out the power sword? I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? No, huh? Anyway, continue.
Well, no, they use the power weapons. I love this, and they are cleared of all wrongdoing. The fans are just, or the people are like, oh,
This was
yeah,
such a nice touch.
we knew all along that we saw the whole thing. Like, Sure. I mean, I like the fact that they got their names cleared, and in the media, they're all cleared of charges.
That was such a nice touch, and they could have like ended the episode with just like a news thing. It's like the public now addresses them as like their saviors again. Well, they understand, but having the whole sequence of just like them staying there, it's like, oh, thank you so much. We saw the whole thing.
Yeah, that one line made the biggest difference. We saw the whole thing.
Because that for a lot of like media. Normally, something like that isn't enough to clear their name. Sure. It's kind of just like, oh, we still don't believe you. How do we know you're even still on our side? That whole sequence just made this whole episode, and I love that.
Now we are going to be talking about they were back in detention.
Yes.
And Bulk straight up rats him out. He's like, we're going to tell Kaplan on you. Come on, Bulk. Snitches get stitches, bro.
So they teleport back into detention with... They could have teleported in front of Bulk and Skull. I don't understand why they did that.
I don't get it either.
Whatever.
See, this doesn't make any sense. How did they know that they weren't going to be there? And if they would have teleported back, they would have been like...
That would have been worse than if they, like, morphed in there.
The plot... There's, like, a couple plot holes. If those plot holes weren't there, this episode would be like a 5 to me.
Yes.
But those plot holes are there. But I am going to give it a 4, because I did like the overall episode.
4.5 for me.
4.5 for Darrel. If those plot holes weren't there, I think you'd have given it a 5.
Because this was a very strong episode that, again, I thought was just going to be, like, a throwaway. But it wasn't. It was a very, very strong episode with, like, the Clone Rangers and the Mirror Monster and, like, the detention thing, like, the Bad Rangers. There was all these things, and they all worked together, and I loved it. It's just... plot holes.
Now, you guys are already giving out your rankings. Daniel Romano gives it a 5.5. Anthony Lawrence, welcome Anthony to the chat. 5 out of 5. Shadowbird gives it a 4. We got Super Samurai 1, a 5. Thomas Franco, 5. You guys seem to really enjoy this episode, so we're all on the same track here. We're going to do something a little different with you guys.
What did Kat rate it? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm just curious what Kat has. Daniel Diaz gives it a 5. Kat, we want to know.
Like, is this going to be another harsh judgment? I'm really curious.
1.5.
Dang!
Myclomaniac gives it a 4.5. Mike Templeton gives it a 6 out of 5. But yeah, Kat, why so low, bro? Why so low, man? Also, we're going to try something new with you, Ranger fans. Give us a hashtag to sum up these last 3 episodes. Now,
all together,
to give it, you could be like, where's Tommy? Hashtag where's Tommy? We are called that hashtag show, so we want to hear what your hashtags are. But... before we get into that, before we reveal which one we like the best, we got your comments from last week.
Do you want to read the first one?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, sure, I'll read the first one. Comments from last week, but let's hear your hashtags. All right, so Craig Anderson, and thank you for joining us in the chat, Craig.
I'm watching.
Craig Anderson says, Kelly and Joe, it's great to have you guys back again. I've missed the last few live streams because of you guys. No disrespect to Darrel. But if you guys aren't on it with them, I'm not watching. Hashtag Darrel is Zeal Ranger 4. Hashtag Kelly is Bay. Hashtag Joe the Phantom Ranger. Hashtag welcome back, Joe and Kelly. Kelly's not here this week. Sorry to disappoint. But hey, I'm here.
I'm not at all offended. More than anything.
Actually, he brought it up to me and he's like, this is hilarious.
This is so funny. It's not even a bad thing. I love it.
I appreciate all the support, Craig. Darrel does a great job, though. If you got to check out his anime show, he'll win you over. I promise you. I can't wait for you guys to finish MMPR because I'm excited for Kelly when you guys finally get to one of the greatest series ever, Power Rangers Zeal. I agree 100% with that. Mm-hmm. By the way, Joe, any ideas for another Ranger game aside from the Ranger Challenge? Well, yes, actually. This is what Darrel was asking. What are these papers here for?
Yeah.
Well, we're going over tomorrow. So we will have another Morphin Monday up tomorrow, and there is a new game on the way. I know we have a lot of the Ranger Challenge games that are left. We haven't put those out. I know that JD's working with our editors and getting some of those out. I think the next one up is it Steve Cardenas? He doesn't know. But we have a few things coming out. The next one is going to be a lot of fun, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's going to be called Your Season or Not Your Season. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how they do in that.
Test their memory of their season.
You're up next.
All right, Shadowbird. Awesome wrap up as always. Keep it up. I have a few questions for you guys. What show would you like to cross over on Power Rangers? Also, if you had the opportunity to create a Ranger team, who would you choose and why? P.S. Dope shirts as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's start off with what show would you like to cross over on Power Rangers?
I've answered this before, and I'm going to say it again. Me personally, I'd love to see Attack on Titan. I think it would make the one of the best things because you'd have to have the Rangers train with the gear. What is it called?
The maneuver gear.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I can't remember the name of it.
That, and I think their Zords would have a hell of a time fighting against those Titans.
I think that'd be really funny to watch.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things because physics. You know, if the Titans move as fast as they do in the anime, and if you take say you rip the Megazord directly from the show and moved it, Megazord would lose.
Yeah.
I'm not even a question because it's too slow. If you were to translate the physics to this Megazord can move like an anime, even fight. It depends on how you do it.
You? What about you?
I don't know, to be honest. If you say show, I kind of want to see the Justice League versus Power Rangers animated. I want to see that as a cartoon.
So you want to see that comic that's coming out as a cartoon?
I would love to see that. That would be great. Animated by the people that did Young Justice. That would be amazing.
Darrel, just real quick.
Yes.
Mike Templeton says Darrel would have won me over if he knew about Samurai Pizza Cats. Hashtag shots fired.
I never watched it. I remember growing up when I used to be a regular on rangerboard.com, and people would talk about it all the time, and I was like, what is that? I've never heard of it in my life. Now that through college, everyone would talk about it, I was like, Samurai Pizza Cats, why does that sound so familiar? I've heard about this before. I need to go back and watch it. I will. It's one of those things that I just need to sit down and buckle down and
So Kat actually, who's in the chat, actually leaves a comment. She says, okay, before I say anything else, two things. My rating of one of the episodes is because of being born in 98. Over 90% of these episodes, I can't watch without laughing at them. So there's that, and the other thing is that I didn't even realize until a few days ago, I've literally been chatting with you guys on Ranger Wrap for about 3 months already. And in those 3 months, I've gotten to meet some awesome new friends. So now on to this. Ninja Steel is back soon. Finally! I've been waiting months to watch new episodes. I'm excited. And also, you guys need to get out here to the East Coast. I can meet you guys and give you a tour of my hometown.
Yes.
As well. Hashtag Team Joe. Hashtag East Coast fan. Hashtag Team East Coast. Hashtag Cupcake Lover Kelly. Hashtag Red Ranger Joe. Hashtag Green Ranger Darrel. Hashtag Cupcake Ranger Kelly. Hashtag THS Fan Family. Hashtag THS Second Family. And by the way, and by the time you guys comment on this, it's getting, it's exactly 42 days until my Disney World for my birthday. Oh, yeah. I'll be in Disney World next week. If any of you Ranger fans are in Orlando, I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And for you East Coast fans, I will be at New York Comic Con in October. So I'll see you guys in New York.
Am I going to that?
Maybe. So we'll see you guys in New York. But anybody that wants to meet up next week that may be from Orlando, let's hang out.
Oh, crud.
Go ahead.
If we go...
Yeah, I figured. Go ahead. You got Cyril Moore, buddy.
Cyril Moore. Nice review, guys. Who is your favorite Green Ranger? Who do you like better, Car Ranger or Power Rangers Turbo? My favorite multi-part episode is the wedding episode from Power Rangers Season 2 of MMPR. Do you think we'll see legacy toys of MMPR in their ninja forms? Tommy kissed Kim on the lips in Season 3 of MMPR in the Xmas episode.
I do remember that. It was under the mistletoe.
Yes.
He was the White Ranger, right?
Favorite Green Ranger.
You know what? Honestly, my favorite Green Ranger is Adam from Power Rangers Zeo. Adam is one of my favorite Rangers, period.
Mm-hmm. I liked Carlos from in Turbo. I liked him in Turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He just had such a good character in Turbo. Again, in comparison to Space, he just felt really whiny.
You know what? I don't know what it really was about. Here's the thing about Carlos. Do you guys remember in Turbo when it seemed like he was gonna date Ashley and then he got swooped in on by Andros? Mm-hmm. That was never addressed. What happened?
Never. Yeah.
Who knows?
Andros just out of this world.
Yeah, I guess.
And Michael Tabor, he's my favorite. Anyway,
who is yours? Yeah, who is your favorite? You said Carlos, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see. And then, did you watch Car Ranger?
No.
No?
I heard that was a comedy, though.
It's comedy. It saved Super Sentai.
Did it?
Yeah. Because whereas Zeo almost saved us, O-Ranger almost killed Super Sentai over there. And so,
Oh, wow.
so they made Car Ranger to save Super Sentai, and we got Turbo, which almost killed Power Rangers. So those two are very, like, polar
Turbo
opposites.
did almost kill. Well, I don't. It's crazy because going back and watching Turbo, I actually really liked the TJ era.
Yeah.
Of him being the leader.
Everyone really likes the second half of it. Everyone misses the first cast, but they like the second half, how it played out.
Yeah, I don't think Turbo was. I think most people had a problem with Justin. Me personally, I didn't. I was okay with Justin.
I loved Justin as a kid.
I was okay with him. I mean, I almost wish that he would have come back as a ranger, like as a grown ranger, as a mentor or something.
I think he was supposed to for Super Mega Force or something. I think there was like plans, but it just never like.
Oh, Cam's a good choice too. Daniel Romano says Cam. Cam's a great choice.
Oh,
for a Green
Watanabe
Ranger.
from Ninja Storm. Yes.
He's great. All right, so Blackwing 2040. What up? What up? What up? I got some bad news actually. I won't be going to PMC next year. I got the money for the tickets, but the problem is I don't have enough money for airfare, hotel booking, and money to buy some merch. It sucks. I won't be able to meet you guys, but I hope you guys enjoy PMC. I'll be watching from home. Now, I thought about this a little bit. Oh, and then he says, hashtag BDub in the house, hashtag Joe Phantom Ranger, hashtag Darrel is dope, hashtag Kelly is Faye, hashtag Wingal. What's Wingal?
Blackwing and yeah.
Abigail.
Oh, Abigail. Okay.
I was like, what's the word I'm looking for?
So here's something I thought about. I thought about this last night because I was looking over some of these comments. I think a lot of you out-of-towners that are fans of the Ranger Wrap-Up, I think you guys should start either a Facebook group or join. How about this? Why don't we, because I've been thinking about this a little bit, why don't we start kind of like because we like having a social media presence. Why don't we have you guys help us out with social media? Let's start like a Facebook group together. And that way all of you Ranger fans and people that enjoy hashtag in general can kind of plan out their trips together. For example, their Morphicon trip. A lot of you guys may have problems with the hotel. Well, if a bunch of you Ranger fans want to meet for the first time, you guys are always here on the chats, maybe you guys should get a hotel together in Anaheim. That way we could all interact with each other.
That's actually not a bad idea.
We can all help with the planning of you guys coming out here and kind of help you guys with whatever you need. I mean, we have our great helpers with the El Camino Power Rangers Club that could help you guys with a lot of the stuff that's out here in LA.
Right.
Our representative Daniel Diaz is a part of that, so he could help kind of organize that. We have a lot of people here in the Ranger community that could help you, and getting the hotels together. Like, and some people are coming out early.
Right.
There's going to be trips that people are going to be taking to Disneyland together. So if you can do everything, or you can do some of the things, but at the end of the day, you won't be coming out here alone. You'll have friends with us, and you'll have friends with everybody else.
If there's one thing I can say about the Power Ranger community over any other community I've ever been a part of, it's the most loving and caring and kind community I've ever been a part of.
Agreed.
It's just, you see that in other communities, but Power Rangers is it's such a close-knit and small community that everyone knows each other, so everyone's like really kind to each other. It's great. I love it.
Ooh, you know what? We got Michaela Maniac says, do you still have hopes for a Power Rangers sequel despite the bad performance in Japan and China? I talked to Dacre Montgomery about this at Comic-Con.
What do you say? Are you allowed to say it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, he didn't give me much. He didn't say much, but he did say, well, I was with Lionsgate all last week too, but he told me this. He said, right now he can't talk about it. Mm-hmm. That's a good sign, though.
That is a good sign.
That means that, because if he didn't know anything at all and they kept him in the dark about anything, then that means that it just wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
So when he was like, I would love to talk to you about it, I just can't right now. So it just goes to show that it's possible that the Power Ranger sequel can happen.
Because there were leaks and articles that there are in talks to about the sequel, and the fact that he can't talk about it, that's a good sign. That's definitely a good sign.
Yes, and then he goes on to talk about wanting the Green Ranger to be a female. So, I mean, that's something he's put out there already. He really likes the idea of the Green Ranger being a female, 3 guys, 3 girls. He likes that. So I hope it happens. But again, you guys, we should start up this group. We'll start a hashtag group, a hashtag group page, or which we can associate with. So all of you fans out there can kind of meet each other, and we'll share things that for you guys to share out, and share things with us. If you guys find memes that you want us to share on social media, you can share them with us. I'll start a whole new page for it, but it'll be for you guys.
Just for
out there.
Ranger stuff.
Well, no, just for everything. It'll be for your show, all of the shows.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kind of a group for all the fans to kind of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now I know you're waiting for this one, buddy.
Oh man, do you want to rock paper scissors for it? No.
I lost that last week.
You did. Okay. FF Justice. You ready for this? All right. Before we use closed caption for this scene, from 1999 until 2008, when me and my brother Dragon Knight watched the Rangers versus, as I call them, Uzis, aka Ivan's Oozmen, in the first movie, we'd hear Tommy say, "Nice flight!" as he kissed an Uzi toward the wall, but as youngins, me and my bro heard, "Light Sprite!" And we tried to decipher that and then felt convinced that it must be the name of that kick. Hashtag Light Sprite. Light Sprite. That's like the...
Light Sprite.
Like Sprite.
Right.
So I really dug the green candle parts. Regarding when Zach got agitated, insert the Price is Right fail horn.
No. Zach got injected.
Injected?
Like Angela rejected?
Oh!
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Fun fact, when watching Turbo and looking at those 2B things that correlate with the Ranger's colors in the power chamber, I instinctively thought they were filled with fruit juices. Now I call those juices Mountain Berry, Desert Apple, Dune Lemonade, Strawberry Chaser, and Cherry Lightning. I could swear I could smell them. They do look really... Yeah. Lastly, anyone else want to see more YouTube projects with post-Mighty Morphin characters? Heck, even a video featuring characters from different seasons. Yes, we have cool content of Chris Cantata Force. Glad I've subscribed to him, but those in his skits usually aren't portraying the actual Rangers. What about a couples night for a video featuring Adam and Tanya, Ashley and Andros, Joel and Angela, aka Miss Fairweather Rollins, Wes and Jen, Shayla and Merrick, Tori and Blake, Kira and Trent, maybe Anubis, Doggy Kruger, and Insenia. Maybe we learn Chip and Vita are a couple. Not sure if any Overdrive.
Chip and Vita?
They were so like polar opposites. I wouldn't call them polar opposites, but no, I wouldn't.
Vita and Madison.
Not
maybe. Oh, they're sisters.
They're sisters. That's
even weirder.
I mean, if that's your thing.
Well, I'm getting really hyped on Game of Thrones, guys.
There's this part on the internet for you. Not sure if any in Overdrive could become a couple. Also, actually, Mac and Rose. That I'm pretty sure that was like very heavily like implied. Yeah. Anyway, also Lily and Theo, all the shorter gal, taller guys couple say, "Oi!" Is that how you say
Lily and Theo were like zero chem. It never made sense.
Yeah. Maybe Summer and Dylan, Mike and Emily, G and Jake, Tyler and Shelby, Haley and Calvin, Tommy and Kat.
I have an interesting thing for this. So, oh man, I can't say. So, if you come to Morphicon, what FF Justice is talking about right now, I have something special planned for this. Just know that. Exactly what he's talking about, I have something very special planned for this.
Well, thoughts?
Well, here's the thing. You know, here at that hashtag show with our Morphin Mondays. Oh yeah, our PA is gonna love this. I'm gonna see you clean that up, PA. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
With what we have going on at Morphicon, I have a very cool plan for this. That, you know, here at, like I was saying, Morphin Mondays, we like to do things a little differently. We like to do the Ranger quizzes. We like to do the Ranger challenge. Right now, the next thing, I don't know why I threw those stupid pigs. I still need some of those papers.
Which one?
The your season, not your season. Oh. Like that's going to be a cool thing. But we are going to be pushing the limits at this year's Morphicon with our party, which hopefully in the next few weeks we can announce what the theme is. You know what it is, so you like it.
Yes, I like this a lot.
And I think a lot of the fans are going to like it. And then the couple of other things that I have planned, they're going to be great. And FF Justice, I think you're going to be really happy. You got to come to Morphicon, though, to see it for yourself.
Please,
this is
guys.
going to be a first-time thing.
Please come to Morphicon. Also, on this note, I was talking to Grandmaster Ranger, who is the, what do I call him? The Prince of Power Morphicon.
Oh, I think he owes one of our producers $5.
Yeah. He says what the thing is. Anyway, I was talking to him about it, and one of the biggest reasons why it's going to Anaheim is because of the hotel prices. They're going to be cheaper. So definitely look around in that area, and I know the hotel prices are going to be cheaper than in Pasadena.
Well, I love Anaheim. Pasadena is personally my favorite
venue. Yeah, same.
But I love Anaheim because you got the fountain there. You can have LobbyCon at the.
In fact, you guys can even go see a movie after you're done.
I had a question for you.
Okay.
I meant to ask you earlier. Are you gonna cosplay?
Probably not.
No?
No. I like to. I would love to, but I want to like get a ranger suit of my own. I don't want to have to borrow it from someone else.
I am gonna cosplay, but I'm gonna get in great shape for it. But I'm gonna cosplay. I got a suit, so that's one thing I do have. I have a suit. Nobody else has the suit either, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, so this is gonna be a first.
Does anyone know what's gonna be?
You know.
I know, but
yeah, I'm sure that they know. I'm sure that they know. The helmet was here for a long time in some of the other videos, so why would they not know? But I think that's gonna do it for us, guys. We are gonna start this hashtag. A lot of people really like the idea of hashtag that hashtag family group together, where the fans could kind of do their thing. Mm-hmm. Like I said, in this group, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna organize MorphCon, let everybody in that group know some of the events we have coming up and some of the places that will be that are outside of the LA area, because you're going up to SAC Anime. Maybe you can do a meetup out there.
I'm going to be going out there.
I'm going to be in Orlando next week, and then October I'll be in New York. We might all be in New York, who knows? So we might start trying to do some of this stuff with you guys. And like I said, you guys can put your memes out there, maybe some cool things you guys find we can post on social media, and we can do all this stuff together, and it'll help kind of bring our worlds together with you guys.
Bring it a little closer.
So that's going to do it for us. Later on today, we have hashtag After Dark. That's going to be me and Matt. So a lot of you guys aren't familiar with Matt. He does our comics here at that hashtag show. He's one of the new guys. You've met Matt.
I've met Matt.
So he's going to be one of the new guys here. But Darrel, every Thursday you have a show called
Anime Super Chat.
And that is about?
It's about, what's that Chinese cartoon? Anime Super Chatting.
Can you tease what you guys got coming up this week?
So this week we're going to be talking about like slice of life, dramatic.
Are we talking like Boy and the Beast?
Kinda.
Or like Your Name?
Your Name, Your Lie in April. Have you watched?
No, I heard about it though. I did
all these like from day-to-day life kind of stuff, because Ernie said he's going to get really dramatic and he might start crying on these things.
Well, I mean, that's the one. Anime is a super interesting thing because it's a subgenre. It's a medium. It's a medium. It's a whole nother medium all to itself where you have subgenres like action, adventure, fantasy.
Exactly.
So,
I'm very excited. Yes.
And where can we find you on social media?
On social media, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Darrel J. Delphin. Very easy to find. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are already following me already. If not, JD, can you post it in there? What do you mean no?
He'll post it in the description later on. Larry Newbill, thank you so much. He's gonna send a care package Monday. Oh man, you know Larry's care packages.
Man, I can't. It's probably gonna be all beer for this guy.
Yes.
It's probably that's all it's gonna be, and like one.
I will say though, shout out to Derek Hervey, by the way, dude. That guy is awesome. He sent us all that stuff, dude. I got something coming for that guy. But let me just say, Anthony Lawrence wants to know if you're part of this channel or he has his own. His anime show's on this channel.
Yes.
It's on Thursdays.
This is my place.
With Ernie and Jasmine.
Yes.
And the next place you can catch me is on Monday. You can catch me live in person tomorrow hosting a Power Ranger panel at YesterCon in Carson, California.
Please come see me.
There's going to be 4 Rangers there and 1 villain. You got Rita Repulsa, Carla Perez. You're going to have Ciara Hanna there. Brendan Mejia, Tracy Lynn Cruz, and Christopher Kamen Lee. So we are going to be hosting a panel out there with a lot of Rangers. And you can see us on Monday. Monday we have some exclusive X-Men Dark Phoenix news. And throughout this whole week, we're going to be dropping some big exclusives, all the way from the Christopher Robin live action movie to some things you guys might not really know about, like the Dick Cheney movie. But we have it all. I know it sounds crazy, but we do.
There's a what?
Trust me.
Anyway,
trust me. But we have a lot going on this week, so follow us here at That Hashtag Show. You can catch me on social media at That Hashtag Joe. You can follow us on all platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That Hashtag Show. You can check me out over at Screen Rant, and we also, what else do I do on this show? I'm not really on your Henshin show anymore because I'm so far behind.
Yeah.
But you can watch us throughout the week. And but like I said, coming up next is going to be later on today, hashtag After Dark. Matt and I are going to be drinking and talking about all things geek. Hope to see you then. That'll be in later on tonight. So
Yes.
just stick by. If you're around, you're around. But that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching, guys. And hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.
We'll see you next week with the live episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Ninja Steel!
Oh,
See you
boy,
guys then.
I forgot how much I disliked that.
Yeah, I hate that.